Hello and welcome to today's live. I am joining you here from a very, very warm and sunny Hampshire. I wonder where you are in the world. Hi Caroline, lovely to see you. I'm giving you a wave. Oh, I can do a wave on here as well. Hi Abby, welcome to the session. I'm just going to get everyone joining in before I get going properly. It's lovely to have you all joining me today, and if you're watching this on replay, you are very welcome too. It's always difficult finding a time that works for everybody, but here we are today. It's 7 p.m. my time. I don't know where it is where you are, but wherever it is, whenever you're watching live or on replay, you are very, very welcome to my session today. Today I've got a few updates for you, some things I want to talk about. A very brief thing on something that I tried this week that took me from being in like a really gloomy place to a really joyful place, and I thought I'd share it with you. Might be something you do already, but from a productivity perspective, I found it great and it made me really happy, so I thought I would share it. I want to talk to you a little bit about the podcast, a bit about the programme, and then the main event today is that we have Abi Tester joining me. As long as we can get the technology to work. So this is my big challenge for today, is make that work. And Abby is going to be talking about her experience on the WorkJoy Wayer programme 6 months in from when she completed it. And I'm really excited to hear about the impact. What's it all about for her? How's it worked? Because I was sitting there thinking, it's all good me telling you how it works, but let's hear from someone who's been through it and through the other side of it so that you can really understand the experience from a participant side. So that's what we're going to do today. For anyone joining me for the first time, hello, I'm Beth Stallwood. I am the founder and lead coach of Create WorkJoy. I am on a massive mission to help people create and cultivate more joy in their working lives. We spend more than a third of our entire life at work or working, whichever way around you would describe it as. And I think, why wouldn't we want to make that better? You might be right now in a place of actually feeling some of that joy. You might be in a place of wanting to feel even more of it. You might be in a place where you feel a bit, I call it a bit meh about work, where you're not quite sure where you stand. Equally, you might be at a bit of a crossroads around some of your career, what you might do next, where you're heading, in a transition between jobs or careers or different things that you want in your life. And I want to be here to help you make that happen. And there are a number of ways we do it. If you're not already following us on the social channels, do at Create WorkJoy. I have the podcast, the WorkJoy Jam. And if you haven't listened to it yet, we are now, this week, just launching season 2. So in season 1, we have 16 episodes. They are all available to listen to now. Great people, amazing humans, loads of different advice. In season 2, I've got 14 people. They've just landed. They are out there. You can find them on Anchor, on Spotify, on iTunes, on YouTube, on whichever platform you prefer to listen to them on. You will find them on there. 14 people. This week, we are starting with a topic that I am hearing about all the time. And that topic is imposter syndrome. And I'm with the incredible thinker, coach, speaker, author, Caroline Flanagan, who blew my mind with amazing things about some advice and some of the guidance that she has. And you can go binge all of the episodes now if you want to, or if you want to listen along each week, we will shine a spotlight on the different episodes for the next 14 weeks and tell you more about what we thought about them, what I thought about them, what were some of the bits of advice that I thought really, really helped. So however you want to listen to it, go make that happen. I have already started recording season 3 that will be out in the autumn. So from October up until the end of the year, there will be 10-ish episodes for season 3. I'm recording 2 more on Friday, so really excited to get those out to you. The other thing that I want to say today is whether you are watching live or if you are watching on replay, if you go and make a comment on one of these things, either in the live now and say, yes, please, I want one, or in the comments afterwards on the replay, say, yes, please, I want one, or something along those lines. I won't be pedantic about what you say, is I would be really happy to give away one copy of Caroline's book. So she's our first speaker on season 2 of the WorkJoy Jam. Her book is called Be the First. It's all about imposter syndrome and how you can work out the puzzle, work through it. It's a really good read, and I will be giving away one of those to one person. We'll pick you out of a hat who either comments right now or comments on the replay. I'm going to pick it over the weekend, so make sure you're done by the end of Friday and we will send you a copy to one of the winners. So pop your things in, like if you're on here now, in the comments, say, yes, please, I'd like a copy. And I will then pick out a winner over the weekend. That's a little bit about the podcast. Really exciting. Lining up speakers for next time. So many different and interesting people. I love it all. Do go and have a listen if you haven't before. Take it on a dog walk with you. Listen to them on your commute if you're doing one. Whatever works for you. I also thought I'd tell you a little bit about this thing that's given me some real work joy. And I started it last week and I'm continuing it this week. I'm going to have a day of doing it tomorrow. And you may have heard of this before. You may have done it. I have never done this before. And I thought I'd give it a go. And I've heard about this, about giving yourself when you need to sit down and concentrate on something. And I'm a massive procrastinator. Like getting started for me, it's like, ugh, especially when I'm writing stuff. So I actually write quite a lot for my job. I would consider myself a part-time writer. With some of the clients that I work with, writing exercises, writing training, writing strategies, whatever it is in that world, I do quite a lot of writing. And sometimes I sit at my desk or I stand up at my standy desk, like I'm at now, and I procrastinate my way through the day and feel like I have wasted some of it. And that gives me real work gloom because I like to use time really effectively. I love to think I'm a really smart worker, can get stuff done. I work really, really hard. I love to work. And I thought this week I'm going to try something different. And I had last week what I call a lesser spotted day of no meetings. And I thought this is a great opportunity, but it's also a really big risk. When I don't have people to talk to, I find it harder sometimes to get stuff done. So I tried this. And the bit that I've tried and heard of before, that a lot of people talk to me about, is like setting an alarm for 20 minutes. So I set a timer for 20 minutes, do 20 minutes of work, and then go and have a break. Come back and do 20 minutes of work. And I was like, okay, I'm going to give this a try. I'm going to give it a go, see how it works. But I'm going to upgrade it in a more joyful way. Rather than just being about the 20 minutes at a break, what I'm going to do is be inspired. And if any of you watch it, I love a bit of Grey's Anatomy for some inspiration, for some joy. And if you watch it, you will know that they talk about having a dance party. So what I thought I would do is to do 20 minutes of really highly concentrated, focused work, and then give myself a 3-minute dance party. And I chose some proper cheesy, proper dance along tunes. If you follow me on Instagram, you probably saw me video of me dancing around my study, having a go at it. And what I found, excuse me one moment, is that I got so much work done and I didn't procrastinate. When I came back from my dance party, I got straight back on it. Another 20 minutes, have another dance party. I didn't feel like any of the day I wasted any time. I felt like it was really well used time. So if you want to give it a go, try it. 20-minute dance party, set a timer. You might want to have a little playlist in mind. I find some of the cheesiest music to go with, some of my favourites that I knew I could dance around for 3 minutes. And that clearing of my head really helped me to get stuff done. I got it done in a more joyful way than the thing that I usually do, which is sit there and make sure you do the work, get through the work, do the work. And it's really inspired me to do some more of it. So I'm going to do some more of it tomorrow. I might mix it up a bit, see some other things. So I'm calling it the 23 dance party method. Giving it a posh name. It's not really posh. So give it a try if you're struggling with anything that you need to really focus on, because our brains can't focus for much longer than 20 minutes anyway. So give it a try, set the alarm, have a dance party. Maybe if the dance party isn't your thing, try and do something creative, maybe draw something. I don't know, maybe do something physical if you want to do like 20 squats or something, whatever works for you. But give it a try and see what you think. The next thing I just want to update you on, and don't worry, the main event, Abi, is going to come on soon. Just a few updates from me before we do. Our current WorkJoy Way cohort are on week 8 this week, and that is halfway through their programme. And I'm seeing so much amazing progress being made already. Last week we had our second of 4 group sessions, and we talked about things like who's in our squad. We talked about what our stories are and where we're getting to with them. This week is a solo experiment week, and they are working on the solo experiment of goals and really understanding not just what those goals are, but how committed they are to them, what they mean. I have something that I call the Proud Goals Framework, which looks at all different elements and makes you check and challenge if the goals you are setting yourselves are the ones that you really, really actually want, and then doing a bit of a planning of how you make them happen. Next week, we have all the one-to-ones, so the one-to-one coaching sessions with me, and that's where we go a bit deeper into the individuals, talk about what they want to do, help them, nudge them, maybe a little bit of push them into what they are looking to do. And to really, I always say that my big goal is to give you lots of love and support and some challenge within it. That's why you hire a coach. You want some challenge, you want some thinking. So that's what we've been doing. And then the week after that, we start looking at things like habits and hurdles, things that we need to get over, get round, build new ones, get rid of old ones, ready to be able to help you to achieve the goals that you are working on. So that's a bit where we are with the current cohort. Really exciting. They finish up in August, so ready for, always feels like a bit like a new year when you start in September, finish something in August, start something in September, ready to that kind of new school year vibe, feeling really great around it. We also launched a couple of weeks ago the autumn cohort dates. We're starting on the 1st of September and we'll be finished by the end of the year. So again, if you want to really supercharge some of your thinking, what you want to do, where you want to get to, if you want to get some more joy in your working life, you can have yourself in that really great place, ready to start 2022 with a bang and feeling amazing. So if you are interested, have a look on the website, createworkjoy.com, or if you want to sign up, createworkjoycourses.com. And at the moment, if you book before the end of June using WJW Early Bird, you get £200 off. So a nice little bargain for you there. And I also have a scholarship place, as I will have on all of the programmes. And I've started receiving it in already, which is amazing. Love them. It's going to be really hard to pick, but we do have a scholarship place for somebody who might not be able to access this, and you just need to send me hello@createworkjoy.com a video or a one-pager or something artistic. I don't really mind how you send it in, as long as you send something in if you are interested in that place. So just a quick reminder, WorkJoy Jam is out there. Go listen to it, season 2, catch up on season 1, find the people that really inspire you for season 2. I'd love to hear your feedback and anyone else you'd like to listen to. I think I've got a couple of spots left for season 3 that I'm recording right now. Have a look at that 23 model of thinking about things, the method, see if it works for you. And also tell me if there's other stuff that you find works for you that I could try out. I love trying these things. And the WorkJoy Way, second cohort that are currently going through it are halfway through, and we've got the new one starting on the 1st September. We are also in the progress of planning dates for the new year for a January start date as well. So if you're thinking, oh, not the end of this year, but the beginning of next year might be great, we'll have those for you soon. Anyway, that is enough of me chatting about the stuff. What I would love to do now is to ask Abi to come and join me and to, here we go, let me see if I can invite Abi, and to talk a little bit about her experience and what it was like to make it a bit more real about the WorkJoy Way programme. So this is where, let me try. Abi, I am sending you a request. I am hoping that you are getting it and that you are able to come and join me. Oh, I can see some people. I'm going to do some saying hi to people while Abi comes in. Here we go. Abi, are you there? This is where the challenge comes, is me and technology. So it says, Abi, unable to join. Abi, I wonder why you're unable to join. I wonder if you can ask to join if you are on there and can see me. Abi is unable to join. Give me a moment. Let me see what we can do around Abi joining in. I am back, just seeing if we can work out Abi. I've got some Go Abbies on here. I love it. Some people saying they want the copy, the copy of the book. So one of you will definitely get that. Now, here we go. Abi, let me try this again. This might be the world's worst invitation to join because it's... here we go. Go live with Abi. Here we go. Are we doing it right? Give us a minute. There she is!
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
I had to go over to my mobile phone, so I've actually got my laptop in front of me that I've been watching you on, and then I've had to go to my phone, but that's okay.
Hello. Welcome. Hello. Thank you for joining. It's always the scariest moment for me is when the technology, I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing. Abi, thank you so much for joining us today. And as I said already, Abi was on the first program for WorkJoy Way, and it's been 6 months. Can't believe it's been 6 months since we finished off. And I thought Abi could talk a little bit more about the program. So I've got some questions for you. But first of all, can you introduce yourself to the wonderful people on the live and on the recording?
Well, firstly, can I just say I can't believe it's been 8 weeks since your next cohort. Well, as long as your cohort's been in.
I know.
That just whizzed by. Secondly, if a dog barks, it's Willis, and he's being really naughty.
Mabel's been barking all day, so that's
sorry about that. So if I shout Willis, it's because he's misbehaving. So about me, so I'm a mum. I was going to say 2 kids, but they're not. They're grown-ups, and both taller than me, so that's not counting. I've had to write notes, Beth, because you know what I'm like. So I love having time with my friends. I like laughing. I'm not good with small talk, so I like proper good chats with people. I think I come across as a bit rude when I don't want to talk about the weather, but if someone says, tell me about your life, I'm like in there like swimwear, really.
Love it.
And I really enjoy working. So I was a practice manager in the NHS for about 8 years, and then I became a practice manager for a firm of accountants, which was a much larger organisation, and that was more operational, and there was a bit of HR in there as well, which is when I became HR qualified. And now I'm a client services director, which is that on one side, and then on the other side it's HR operations and stuff.
All of the things that need doing.
Yes.
Amazing. Thank you for that. And I'd love to take you back to last year and ask you the big question of what was it that made you sign up to do the WorkJoy Way program?
It came up at a really good time because I'd done some other stuff that was quite personal in the sense of my own development. And actually I hadn't heard of imposter syndrome. The first time I heard about it was a 3-day course that I was on a year or so ago. And I was like, oh, yes, that's me. A huge lack of belief in myself. And it's funny because when I meet people and I'm chatting to them, they completely disagree. I'm often accused of not being an introvert. and I guess when I'm with people I know and love and really have that relationship with, I'm very chatty, very welcoming, very warm, very bubbly. But I know at work, for example, at times I can come across as quite robotic and quite closed. So I was trying to develop myself, and I thought I love working, and I wasn't enjoying my work as much. I didn't feel I was being the real me. And I thought, I'm going to be working for a long time. I just want to have a good time. I want to be the real me. And it came up at the right time. I thought, let's do this.
So dive straight in. And it's so interesting you talk about like at the right time and being someone who loves work, but maybe has fallen out of love a little bit with the work that you were doing. That is so often the people who come and say, I want some help with this stuff. It's not that I don't want to work. It's not that I don't actually at the core of it love the job that I do. I've just fallen a little bit out of love with it, and I want to explore that a bit, and I want to dig into it, and I want to get that joy back because I've had it before and I want to feel like that again.
Yeah, I wanted to be the best me because I know that I've been the best version of myself at work. And I just felt that I wasn't. And I used to wake up on a Monday morning and be, like Monica from Friends and like, woo! And I just wasn't, I was dreading it on a Sunday. I was going to bed and was really quite nervous about the next day and sort of almost had some anxiety about it and about how I was performing. So yeah, I wanted it back. I wanted to feel that way again. And then when I saw, everything that you were going to be including, oh yes, big tick there. Oh yes. And I was a bit nervous about the group coaching side of things, but from literally, I mean, we'll talk about this in a bit, but from the nanosecond, from minute one, it was just everything that I hoped it would be. It was really, really good.
Amazing. And what I'd love to know a bit and like dig into it. So the program is made up of 3 core parts. So you have one-to-one sessions with me, you have the group coaching sessions, and you have the experiments. They're the things that make up the whole 16-week program. And what I'd love to know is, let's dig into some of those group, one-to-one, experiments. How did that experience of having those 3 things together help you?
Hugely, really. I think, and we're still in touch. That the guys, we're still in touch, and I think you need all 3 for it to work. So, in the sense of the exercises, you don't call them exercises, experiments. I love that you call them experiments. I love it. I love it that you call them experiments. Yes. So there were the first one was really easy. I won't go into too much detail for anyone that's going to join. But
softly.
but the first one was, I can do this. And I think it was the second or third one. I think stories really opened me up quite a lot. Again, won't go into the detail, but so these experiments were really good because in my own time, and you give a decent amount of time to get on with it. And I was able to reflect and think about it and put my answers together. And the first time after that we then had the group session, and actually I think in one of the group sessions, I think I said, I haven't done that bit. And I felt like a naughty schoolgirl because I hadn't done my homework. And I was so embarrassed. And then I think about 2 other people said, oh, phew, thank goodness you said that, Abby, because I
always think we live in the real world. You're not always going to get it done on time. It's
goodness.
Not a school thing.
No, and I'd done the other one because I think sometimes there were 2 sets of homework.
Yeah.
that we had to do. So they were really good because you'd sort of set us off to talk about it in our small groups in the coaching session. So it wasn't too intimidating. And then you reach the point where actually you want to talk about it.
Yeah.
And you want to share it because it has been an experiment and there is something new that you've realized. I think one of them was a task where you need to think about your crew and the people that you go to get a different version of yourself.
Yeah.
So I hadn't thought about that. I hadn't appreciated that I had a group of people that I could go to about different things. It really made me appreciate them much more. And I went and told them.
Yeah.
And that became really valuable and is still something I get something from that now. The one-to-ones, great stuff. You have a way of, you are challenging, but you're kind with your, in the
It's
way
all
that
wrapped
you're
up in love.
And I remember we'd start having our one-to-one and I wasn't prepared. I wanted to sort of be like this and be quite relaxed. And we'd just get going. We'd just start chatting. And it was really interesting because it could be about stuff that's come up at work that I was struggling with.
Yeah.
Stuff I'd been struggling with for a long time. And you gave me permission, because I don't go to people, I don't open up. You gave me permission to kind of, get vulnerable, because until you're vulnerable, you can't show your capability.
Yeah.
And I didn't feel vulnerable. I felt really motivated. So those one-to-one sessions with you were really powerful, and just got me going. So I think all of those three elements together, they just go hand in hand.
Yeah, and combining the three together where you've got all of the different bits. So one to get you thinking, the conversations that we had. And it's not unusual for people to feel a little bit nervous about even one-to-one coaching if you've never had it before, or the group coaching, because to start with, it's another 8 to 10 people that you have never met before, because part of the beauty of this is it's not based in your workplace. It is totally separate to that. So it will be different people, different ages, different stages of their career, different backgrounds, different experiences, different industries. And there is a bit where sometimes people think, oh, what am I going to get from that? But as you say, like all of the first group, you're still in contact, you're still chatting, you're still having life updates from people. And my perspective on it is that you get a different perspective and other people, and you suddenly realise you're not alone in some of the things that you're worried about.
Yes, definitely. And it is great because it's such a trusted audience, because I went back a few weeks ago and asked the question and had some really, really good help and support. And you're right, the first time I joined the group, and you think, oh, we've all got such different jobs, different ages, we are at different points. And it was interesting because we had lockdown.
Yes.
And, there were some stories I thought, that person's in a worse situation than I am. And it does test your listening skills, and it really boosts and feeds your confidence, and you feel you can help somebody and make a difference. I just really, really embraced it.
Yeah, and like diving into it, I think is really important. So you've got to be ready to just kind of give it a go. And you talked there about being vulnerable as well, is that the whole thing is putting yourself in a vulnerable space, even doing the experiments, because you're thinking in a different way or on some different things to how you thought about stuff before. So it's definitely putting you there. But the thing is, when you get vulnerable, that's where growth and progress comes from. It doesn't come from staying in your comfort zone. It comes from putting yourself in that world. I love it. So tell me a bit, Abby, since or during or since, as part of whatever happens afterwards, what are some of the impacts you felt beyond the actual sessions and enjoying them and kind of working through things?
It seems like I was a different person, because I thought at the time, when this all started, I thought I was a problem, and I didn't believe in myself. There wasn't a conversation to be had. You know, I just thought I was a problem. And since then, I do have to have a little chat with myself occasionally. I have to have a little Beth moment. Um, and I've just become so literally from partway through the course, the program, um, I just relaxed my shoulders and became myself and had more conversations, and my office door was more open, and I kind of accepted what was, a bit like Byron Katie, you know, with her book about, you know, loving what is, because I'm a bit of a control freak, and I like to prepare and I like to know what's going on, and I am frightened and I do get scared when I'm out of my comfort zone, and fight and flight royally kicks in, which I experienced recently when I was changing my job. So it's really helped me to believe in myself, take a deep breath,
Yeah.
go with it, and smile, and actually, you know, find those methods that do help me strategize myself that little bit more and sort of keep myself grounded. And I'm just loving it, actually. And when I started my new job, I remember when I started my previous one, I was almost sort of sitting there waiting, watching. Whereas actually, I've just gone in there and I'm the me that I would normally grow into being.
Yeah.
When you start a job. So I think for me, the impact, it has been game changing for me. I'm I used to think I used to think that you couldn't be this way at work. I used to think you had to separate that out because it wouldn't be professional. And you can't laugh that loudly in your office. You can't find fun and joy. And I'm lucky because there have been some, and some people are here today actually, but some people I've worked with that, you know, where we've worked really, really hard. And you know, we've had such a laugh.
Yeah.
And we've had such good fun, and it hasn't stopped us getting everything done that we needed to. And it's like joining the WorkJoy Way has made me look forward to so much more, be myself, accept that vulnerability if necessary, go in smiling, accept what comes along, deal with it. And I just have less anxiety, and there's just a lot more real Abby going down.
Yeah. I think I put it on your post earlier today. It's like, be more Abby. It's a great thing to be.
Yeah.
And it's so interesting you talk about this idea that you thought you were the problem to start with. Yeah. And actually, once you got out of your own way, you realise that there isn't a problem. It's something that you can focus on, that you can do something about, that you can change, and you can make that happen. And so many people come to me with that, I think I've got it wrong, I think I'm doing this wrong, etc. And I'm like, have you? And what you've done, I think, here is that you had this box with that's not professional. And actually, once you opened that box up a little bit and we're able to go, hang on a minute, we're all just trying to do a good job. We're not rocket science, we're not brain surgeons, we're trying to get some stuff done.
Yes, we've all got the same intention, haven't we?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I spoke to somebody recently, and she said that because she is a reflector, and because it goes in and she has to think, she felt that she was a big part of a communication problem. And I felt, I just took what I've learned and went, and that's how you listen. That's you're not broken. That's how you listen. That's how you take things on. So
yeah,
you know, you don't have to be like everyone else. And because I'm a people pleaser, and there's that anxiety and that stress, come on, Abby, you've done this before, it's fine.
Yeah, and giving yourself and other people that talk that it's all going to be okay.
Yes.
Being able to share that. And I love that you're kind of sharing your learning with other people. I was thinking about it the other day and how to describe it. And I was thinking it's a bit like osmosis, isn't it? Like once you feel the joy, you help other people get past that stuff too. And I thought maybe we should call it joymosis.
Love it. I
You've
love
heard it
it.
here first, Joy Moses.
And it's like you've had this big eureka moment. You're like, oh my goodness, nobody knows this.
Yeah.
This is what, yeah. And actually, I was on a conference call this week, and this guy that was running it was a bit like, the Snoopy and Woodstock teacher was a bit wah, 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 and a bit monotone. I thought, actually, we need to have some more fun. We need to really engage and just be ourselves much more, because you just get so much from it. So I just feel at the moment like nobody knows this stuff.
Yeah, and the thing is, like, I think you do know it. I think deep inside you already had it within you. You already knew that you wanted to do that.
Yeah.
And it was just peeling back some layers of stuff that you were like, I don't need that anymore. Some baggage you're carrying with you that you don't need, and old messages and old stories about yourself, and really kind of going,
Yeah.
don't need that anymore. This is who I am, and I can be me. And when I'm me, I'm at my best.
Yes, and it is a story. We do tell ourselves story, and our thoughts aren't accurate. They're not true. Thoughts are thoughts are thoughts. It's part of our brain mechanism. It's part of our process. And we hear a thought and we think it's true.
Yeah.
No, it isn't. And that lack of belief in yourself can be just so undermining. So yeah, it's just really important to go in with that belief and know that these are just thoughts. It's just helping you get through.
Yeah.
And stick your finger up to it sometimes, because la 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 la. It's you've got to channel it, because we just think a load of rubbish at times.
Yeah, and I think that if I actually believed everything that went on in my head, I don't think I'd be able to get out of bed in the mornings. It'd be like too much stuff and random rubbish. And our brains focus on the negative. They are there to sense danger, and we don't know the difference between emotional danger and physical danger. We're protecting ourselves, but sometimes what we do by protecting ourselves is we really close ourselves off and become a lesser version of who we actually are, and then we're not bringing all that stuff, and that makes us feel bad. And it just has this cycle of getting into the bad stuff versus like thinking, hang on a minute, why do I need to think that that's not professional? Why is smiling at work not something that we could do? Why is finding a fun way of doing stuff worse than finding a serious way of doing things? So it's about opening all that stuff up.
It is, definitely. And I think because a lot of my role was compliance as well, and actually I remember you saying to me, and this will always stay with me, that I needed to do something that had value and meant something to me that I could be passionate about. Because, and people have said it to me before, when I'm passionate about something, I'm a different person.
Yeah.
And my sister's going to listen to this later, and she when I talk about particular things, she says I just light up, and and you can just tell. We've got to do more of that, and we've got to give ourselves permission to do that. And if that means I'm doing a bit of a sales pitch now, but if that means having a chat with you on a one-to-one basis, then do it, because it was a real game changer for me. And some of our one-to-one chats have just stayed with me, and the group sessions and the guys that I met, the comments and the learning from them and their transitions. I will always think, actually, if that happens to me, I know I'll get through it. Yeah.
Because you have like amazing inner strength. You have a great network of people who can love and care and love it all. So what I was just going to ask you there, and like, not to get too sales pitchy, but we can do a little bit of it, is thinking about where you were at. Who would you thinking I'd recommend this program to? Who would you say are the people who might benefit the most from it?
Everybody. Because and I know that's not good on the old USP, but essentially well, I really, really enjoy work, and it is my comfort zone. Actually, when I'm chatting to someone I don't really know what to say, I'll think, well, let's talk about work. That's fine, I'm safe. And a lot of people are at work more than they're at home.
Yeah, for sure.
And to be really true to yourself and to really understand what works for you, I do think it's important to open yourself up. And I remember thinking this in the sessions, that you've got to pick that scab off, unfortunately. But it isn't painful. I know you can go on some courses and it's quite painful. But until you commit, which you said earlier, you're not really going to give it your all. So I think if somebody's in that place where they feel that they are a problem, or that they're not communicating well, or if they're stuck in their own baggage and they feel a little bit victimized by themselves, because I know that's where I was, reach out, because there isn't a moment. Yes, there's probably that moment when you're about to go on a group session, but it was all so wonderful and so eye-opening and so warm. So essentially anyone anyone that just feels they're not in the best place, and they just want to be at their best, and they want to understand some strategies to get themselves out of themselves, then it's just a really good way to chat it through and find a way at every single level, whether that's one-to-one, in the group session, or through the experiments. Get your test tubes out. It's really good.
And there's a reason why we call them experiments. It's like, try it out, see how it works for you. And if it doesn't work, try something else out. That's like the whole idea of it. It's not the final thing. You can keep working and keep learning through it and go back to things.
That's a really good point. That's a really good point, because I did find some of them that just didn't, I did the work, but it didn't really sit with me very well. And then the next time I did one, I thought, oh, this is brilliant. Actually, I'm going to share this with people in my team, because it really works and it's really impactful.
Yeah. And, different things get different people excited about these ones. So you have 8 of them throughout the course. So it's every other week you get one. And, you're not all going to love all of them, but hopefully they give you a different way of thinking about different things as you go through. So, Abi, thank you so much for being amazing. It's our first deliberately double Instagram live, and we managed to get the technology working, which has made me very excited. And thank you for sharing so openly all the stuff where you're at, what you went through, how it's been helpful to you. I really love it. So thank you. And huge thank you to everyone who is watching live or who is on replay. If you do want to chat more about it, and I know that's one of those things you probably want a bit more detail, there's loads of information on the website, and also on the website, which is www.createworkjoy.com. There is a little link where you can book a call with me. It's a half-hour free call. Let's chat it through. Let's see if it's the right thing for you. And one thing I always say to everybody is I'm not big on making lots and lots of sales about this. That's not the purpose of it. If I am not going to be the right coach to help you, I will tell you. If I think I can, I'll tell you how I think I can help you through the program. So do click on there. And if you are thinking, I want to go and get this and get it signed up by the end of June, go to createworkjoycourses.com and you can click on there and sign up straight away. So thank you all. Have a listen to the podcast, have a little look at everything that's going on WorkJoy related. And I'll be back on in a couple of weeks to do the next live. Love to hear your comments, your questions. Remember to if you want the book, pop it in the comments, either here live or on the replay comments on whichever platform you are on, and we will put all the names into a hat and send one of you a copy of Caroline, our first episode from season 1's book, Be the First. Thank you all for joining. If you have any questions, I'd be really happy to answer them either now or in the future. On comments, pop me an email, hello@createworkjoy.com. And get in touch. Would love to hear from you if you want to find out more. Massive thank you to Abi. You're amazing. Thank you for coming on. And I will speak to you all soon. Thank you.